To the pronunciation police, I'm sorry. I tried to do a little pre-work here. Riley and I were deep into Khadim Mboup footage, and we were trying to find out the pronunciation of his name. Unfortunately, all his interviews are in French, which honestly, hand up here, I did take what 3 years of French, so like I should know this, but Khadim Mboup, who was kind of a late ad for the BYU, has been a bright spot this offseason. So some footage came out of him, right? And he's knocking down some threes. And this is interesting to me because I feel like, we've done a lot of BYU content this summer. And one of the things that I brought up many times is that like when I watch these videos, I always see him. Like I see him and like you look at him and you see the frame, you see the athleticism, the strength that he has. Looks like a guy that can guard a lot of different positions, and I'm just wondering like what his role would be for the team. And seeing some things like that during the summer, and then obviously this footage coming out where he is looking very comfortable, the form's looking good, he's knocking down shots in this footage that we're seeing now. We're gonna take this with a little grain of Provo salt here, a little bit of that flaky Himalayan. You know what I'm saying, Riley? I know you're deep in your kitchen bag here. Um, all season, empty gym, gun work in the practice facility, it can trick people. It has tricked me. It tricks me every summer. All right, obviously, shout out to Cohen Carr. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but Riley, what do you take from seeing footage like this? Is there anything to massively take away from it? And then I guess maybe some thoughts on what you've seen from Kadeem this summer.
Yeah, in terms of empty gym made threes, I don't put too much weight into to them. However, I will also add I think he's going to play for BYU this year. I think when you look at the way that Kevin Young ran his team last year and they went 10, 11 deep late into the season, I don't know if he for sure is going to have that deep of a rotation again, but there's a very clear path to minutes for him, whether it's I don't know if you want to play him at the three because the jumper is so questionable, but definitely at the four and the five, there's going to be an available path to playing time there. And even just watching some of his tape, whether it was at the NBA Academy, and I would actually say mainly his NBA Academy tape, there's a lot to like about his motor, his athleticism, the way he gets up and down the court. And again, just going off of how Young ran his team last year, BYU got up and down. They ran a lot. They put a premium on ball movement, which I think is going to lead to a lot of easy looks or him cutting along the baseline or him getting free for lobs. Like there is a very clear path to playing time here, Cart. And can I tease a little something coming on the channel in the future?
Don't ever ask if you can tease anything. Please tease us.
So we got a little exclusive intel on this per source,
For sauce.
per sauce that of a voice you may see on this channel in the near future that Mbop has looked really good on in these off-season workouts. A very significant BYU player told me and Gregory Waddell that Mbop had been impressive. So I think you'll definitely see him play. I just don't put too much stock into the empty gym made threes.
Yeah, so here's where I'm putting stock into it. I think that with a team that has a very clear set of like, all right, this team has AJ DeBanza, this team has Richie Saunders, this team has Rob Wright. You need guys, I think, surrounding those guys that know that those are the guys, can play off of those guys, and obviously, I think can bring some defensive versatility to that. So when it comes to defensive versatility, size, athleticism, Kadeem fits that, right? I think he can guard a lot of different positions. That would work next to him. The thing for me that's enticing is that if he can do this, if he can space the floor, then he should play a lot. He should play a
Mhm.
lot. I think that you have players like Moo Davis who can play with them. He can obviously space the floor. He has some good size. I'm very excited to see him. But a player like Kadeem, I think, could find a role with this team using his athleticism. And if you're able to knock down shots as well, then it'll get scary for people playing BYU. But when you have a team that has a set kind of stars in place, roles in place with some major guys, you need guys to fill around them. Now I'll ask you this, Riley. I feel like we've come on the channel and talked about a lot of different guys who could be those guys. Like we've obviously talked about Dom Diamande as well. They have, Kaba Keita in the front court, Xavier Staten, probably going to play a little bit in the front court as well. I guess what do you see the role being for Kadeem? I mean, he's going to have to play, I think, a little bit, but is there a world where like he's starting or is that going too far?
I guess it's not completely out of the question if they end up bringing Moo as like the sixth man, if they want a little size in the front court. I think if you're looking at their best players right now, it's probably Rob at the one, Saunders at the two, AJ at the, I guess it'd be Moo at the three, AJ at the four, Kate at the five.
Man, I love my Cougars.
That would be an awesome lineup, but I also don't think you want AJ playing 30 minutes at the four. You want him guarding threes. You want to bring in you probably want AJ guarding twos at times as well. So that's where I think you can, if you want to go big and put some size on there. I think there's a chance he could beat out Boshkovich for that backup four spot or like the first forward off the bench. And I think you're hit the nail on the head in terms of you have like the main trio. I think the offense is going to run entirely through Rob Wright, DeBonsa, and Saunders. Having a guy like Moo who can knock down threes off the catch, who's going to be that gritty glue guy on the other end as well, and Keita, who's one of the best play finishers in the country, those guys should have a clear role. But beyond that, I think you are looking for either maybe a guy who can give you a scoring punch off the bench, but if not that, you do want those guys who are going to make an impact without the ball, who are going to fill a role. And I think Mbop has a clear path to that. And if this 3 point barrage is real, Cart, some numbers for you. BYU was 25th in the country last season in 3 point attempt rate. Like Kevin Young is going to let these dudes let it fly. So if he can knock down threes, then yeah, he should be able to beat out Boshkovich for those minutes at the four. But again, it's crazy that Young and BYU went on this run they did in February and early March last year by expanding their rotation. Usually when you look at streaks like that, it's teams cut down to their core seven or their core eight and they find the right group of guys and they take it off. BYU is still routinely playing 10 or 11 guys going into March. So I just think the opportunity is going to be there from Bop. And I don't know. I'm kind of buying the stock just based on the athletic profile, based on what we saw him do at the NBA Academy. And I just think Young is a smart coach who knows how to fill out a roster. And this was a move that was probably an afterthought last season that could pay dividends. You got to tip your cap to him.
Yep, definitely 100%. I'll be interested to see. It's going to be really interesting to see when they do start playing games, what that lineup is and kind of what it is early on. But, with a team that I think has the versatility and maybe some different options that BYU has, might be a little bit fluid, right? Might the starting line to start the year might not be what it is for the rest of the year. But yeah, I think encouraging to see this. Now we just got to watch and see if it'll translate to actual games. But look, we'll have all the BYU coverage here. Don't y'all worry.